Corey John Lawton. I live in Rockhampton. Yeah, just Indigenous and normal Australian, I suppose you could say. I'm 16 at the moment, and I've been playing for this year, I think it'd be almost 10 years. It keeps me fit, good social skills and motor skills, and I've achieved the Queensland national team for going for Australian trials, the JDP squad. I've got awards throughout basketball. I've got selected into various Frenchville teams that we select out of our squad.
So I've been the manager in the past with the Frenchville Rockwheelers, and I've been the coach for the last 3 years. So I've seen Corey develop into a very strong and competitive young teenager who's going great places in wheelchair basketball. He trains hard, he plays hard, he listens to my advice. Sometimes he doesn't like it very much, but he's always trying to improve his game.
It's just intense. You get out there, you just give it everything you've got. You end up with blisters and skin peeling off everywhere. You end up with your knees caved in. That's a hassle with being able to feel your knees. No one else can on court. But no, I'd keep playing this as long as I can until I'm too old and I just can't push a chair anymore. But it's just an awesome feeling when you're out there, and everyone's all very inclusive. Like, it doesn't matter like whether you've got a severe handicap or whether you're doing it as a sport or for fun. It's an all-inclusive game. Just love it.
It's all up to Corey, but I know he's very determined. The sky's the limit, really, for him. And, you know, when you think about it, you know, the Paralympics is not such a long shot. He's only a young fella, and he's been playing a long time. That's totally not out of the question. And all the rest of his teammates just love him and support him.
Riding up, making Corey push real hard. Corey gets right into it, just like everyone else does. Like, it's good to see him at his age getting into his sport enough that he's actually gone away with the Queensland Juniors, so it's awesome.
I've known Corey for probably 2-3 months now. Primarily what we do with Corey is we do a lot of overload training. Basically what we do is we attach it to the back of his chair, and we might be doing 10-metre sprints, for example, with 40 kilos, him towing. Although he does like to go overboard, and we did manage 105 the other day for 10 metres, which was a big PB. I think his last one was 85, so yeah, we've jumped up 20 kilos in the last month. So yeah, he's going awesome.
Oh, look, his family, he's got a huge family. As I said, I'm his uncle, and part of his huge extended family, but his family are just amazing. His mum is our team manager, and so she looks after all of us old kids, and especially when we go away for tournaments, she's always there. She's always there. His support base is amazing, yeah.
He was born 10 weeks early, and he had a hole in his heart, which was called a ventricular septic defect, which is a VSD. It was that big that it had to be surgically fixed, but he was too little, so they had to wait till he was about 6 months old. So for the first 6 months of his life, he spent 2 months in hospital, 4 months at home. When he was due for his heart operation, they told us, you know, while he's sitting up and you go into physio, he's actually got cerebral palsy as well. With all Corey's operations in the last 18 years, there was one lot of operations called single event multi-level surgery, where they cut all his legs, broke all his bones, realigned everything, cut the muscles. Corey ended up having a little, when the screw went in, there was a little break in his bones, so he had to go back into surgery, and he ended up having pneumonia and influenza A at the same time, which made him very sick. So it stopped a lot of his recovery process that we had to do with physio. So Corey was very sick for a long time, and he got very disheartened, and he got very depressed. And just with life, because his friends were growing up, he wasn't doing anything, couldn't get his learners, he couldn't do all that kind of stuff. So he couldn't have a job. So he was really depressed, and he used to come home, go in his room, not talk to anyone, argue constantly. But, and then we just got him back into basketball and things like that talking to other people, being around other people, and I've got to learn to let go as well sometimes and let him do his own thing. And he's just so full of energy now. He's given, at school, he actually encourages other kids and gives them advice, which is fantastic to see. So it's not just about, he wants to be a motivational speaker, which is huge because he knows he's been through a lot in his life and he knows it hasn't been easy, but he feels with his story he can help other people to achieve their goals and follow their dreams like he does.
Well, some of the stories that I could tell you about Corey, they're no good for television. Oh, pretty close, Corey and I. He thinks a lot of me, you know, like if anything he wants he sings out, but whether he gets it or not's another thing. Oh, I thought he was going to walk forever when he started. No, I was very happy for him that he could walk a little bit when he did. So I hope he can one day might be able to walk a few more steps.
Oh, with Corey, he's one of these, you know, that he doesn't ask for much, but he's always there. And the nicest thing is that when he gives you a kiss, he says, "I love you, Nana." Well, that's pretty good for many of the grandkids and grandkids, you know, and that's the most important thing. But no, what he has done, I think is marvellous, and I think he'll go a long way too, because I think he's a determined little fella and he will do it.
They'd all sit around me at home there and asking me all these questions. So Corey knows a bit about the culture too as well. I'm very proud of Corey and what he's achieved in his life, and I hope someday that he'll be able to chuck that walker away and walk. I first got the rails up the side of outside my house. He called me outside to the door and I said, "Oh, what do you want now?" He said, "Oh, come out here and see this." He pushed his walk away and he walked up hanging onto the rails. So I believe Corey's going to walk one day, even if I'm not around. But that's my belief, Corey will walk one day.
He's a good kid and, well, in our eyes, he's just the greatest. And I think all kids are, and especially with all he's been through. You know, like he's been through a heck of a lot, and to come out the way he is, I think that's an achievement on its own without anything else, you know, because to us we've got him and that's the main thing.
Well, Corey's future is with cerebral palsy. He's got cerebral palsy, spastic diplegia. So with that, it does affect his limbs, lower limbs mainly. He's got to continue to go to the gym daily. So that's going to happen, especially because the gym that we've got at the moment, called Scrutiny Strength and Conditioning, have offered him a traineeship in Certificate 3 and 4 for fitness, which is fantastic for Corey. Being year 12, we didn't know what the future actually held for him. And Corey's a very stubborn child where he wants to be a builder, like, you know, and he wants to do things that really challenge him. Well, he wants to be a personal trainer now and a motivational speaker, and they're giving him that direction and that path to go, which is great.
I hated coming to gym and just hated everything basically. But now that I've been coming here, I like coming to gym and it's changed me a lot. Makes me feel good about myself because I know that there's a reason that I'm coming to the gym. So
I've known Corey since we opened. His mum brought him in here as a very, very shy, quiet kid. He's come a long way in the 3 months we've been open.
Yeah, at this stage, Corey is probably our only wheelchair athlete, but to be honest, we couldn't ask for anyone better. He's absolutely all you got to do is look at his trophy cabinet and he backs him up. But he's a hard worker, and if he just keeps it up, he'll go far, that's for sure.
We run a different sort of program with Corey just because of his condition with the wheelchair. We've had to modify a lot of our programs, but a lot of our equipment suits what he does really, really well because he can access it nice and easily and just watch his fatigue rate. But he does a lot of things a lot of able-bodied athletes will do and some that can't do as well.
like I said, Corey's 100% dedicated, and I don't need to tell him anything. He loves training, and the most important hour or days of his week are the days he trains. So yeah, he's very dedicated and very motivated, and he has a very bright future ahead of him. So yeah, go Corey.
He actually provides a lot of motivation for everyone else in the gym. More just what he does and his attitude towards his training.
Yeah, you can't shut him up.
Corey's probably the best one-pointer, which is the player at his level in junior in Queensland at the moment. So he's just been to nationals. You know, reports back was that he was very much a team player. He played very well. He pushed himself really hard, even though he did have some slight injuries down there. So if he sticks to his game and works really hard at his fitness, he can go a long way. It's really all about, at this stage of Corey's life, how much commitment and how much time he's willing to put in.
Yeah, I got into basketball because it sort of keeps me fit, motivated. I like playing sports, and I'm pretty competitive when it comes to sports. So, and it gives me a chance to represent the state and hopefully the country.